Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is, talking about this article over here I caught on Stereo Gum. Shout out to the good people at Stereo Gum. Iggy Azalea, very disappointed. Label won't release any more singles, according to a series of tweets they have strung together over here. Def Jam, Iggy's label, not dropping any more singles from her forthcoming record, which at the time of me shooting this video does not currently have a set release date, I believe. This album was supposed to come out last year at some point. Now it's supposed to come out this year, but no release date. Where's the release date? When is it coming out? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. This to me, even though there may be some people sitting here reading this thinking, oh, good, I hate Iggy Azalea. And that's fine. Totally understandable that one would have that opinion. She is a very polarizing figure. But for the budding and the aspiring artists out there, please do look at this and please do kind of use this as a cautionary tale and an example. Because you have an artist here who at one point, because of a huge single, was on cloud nine, and then through the release of some mediocre music, a lot of controversy, not working with T.I. anymore, who, she eventually just kind of became too much of a hot potato for, to the point where it was just like toxic for him to continue to be involved with her. All of this sort of negativity swirling around her in terms of like music fans, because there are a lot of Iggy Azalea haters out there because of all of these, terrible pieces of this recipe assembling into a perfect storm. Iggy Azalea's hype is very much deflated at this point. It's to the point where now she's kind of mending bridges with Azealia Banks, who is, mind you, not at the high point of her career either. And, they're now planning on dropping a collaborative track at some point, which I read on Iggy Azalea's Twitter, which is completely ridiculous. Maybe that was one of the singles she wanted to release, and Def Jam's like, nope, no, not doing that. But I'm sort of just theorizing here at this point. Keep this in mind. Without a big, flashy, popular single, because Iggy Azalea is very much a singles artist, to lead us into the release of this new album, this new record is essentially dead in the water. Iggy Azalea knows it. The label knows it. Everybody in the music industry knows it. And I'm not sure if they're refusing to release another single because the past singles haven't been super hot, if they're refusing to release another single because they want this sort of gap between the single and the new album to grow so that interest in the album continues to... it's just simple musical promotion, mathematics science here, or... It's just pure music promotion math here, okay? Everybody knows that if you don't have a big single and you're a singles artist, that album is not going to sell well. And now it seems like Def Jam is kind of anticipating that, or maybe in a way they're kind of putting like a little bit of a sleeper hold on the album here, because Iggy continues to be just sort of a controversial figure, a figure that a lot of people dislike, a figure that a lot of people hate. And they're just kind of waiting for interest in this album to kind of die down so that when it does eventually release... assuming it does release at some point this year, that fans and haters, won't pay so much attention to it. It won't be that it won't be that much of a boondoggle for them. It won't hurt their bottom line that much. They can just drop it in silence and then just sort of be over with it, be done with it. At least, again, that's kind of what I'm theorizing here. Because, again, it's very obvious and it's very clear that if Def Jam wants this album to do well at all, they need to be releasing this record ASAP. In fact, it should be like a summer record. But now it kind of seems like with no album release date, with no new single to kind of continue to hype the record, they're just like, playing the waiting game a little bit, unfortunately. And again, budding artists, aspiring artists, remember that signing to a label can be great. Especially if you're the number one priority at that label. If you're the number one priority at that label, it's amazing. It's great. But the thing is, if you come to a point where you are no longer the priority at that label, you're no longer number one at that label, you're no longer the primary focus at that label, you're going to see interest drop off. You're going to see focus drop off. You're going to see a lack of promotion. You're going to see basically a lack of overall support, and that's kind of what I think Iggy Azalea is seeing here, unfortunately. Let me know what you think down in the comments about this whole thing. Are you upset? Are you happy? Are you filled with glee that Iggy Azalea is kind of being put on hold by her label a little bit here? In my opinion, it's always unfortunate to see an artist kind of in this position. Nobody asks to be in this position, though. I think Iggy Azalea didn't play the PR game all that well during her first album cycle, so I think that does have a lot to do with it. Still, though, do keep in mind that if you're going to be an artist and you're going to be on a label, you need to think of it as a business decision and a business relationship. A label may be your friend, but only a fair weather friend. If you stop making that label money, if you stop being an addition to that bottom line for that label, you're going to see stuff like this happen. And that's just kind of how it is. Check out another video next to my head over here on this very channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.